All right, Mike. Here I am, man. I gotta say, I love you more than anything for appreciating or for recommending this game to me, uh, and appreciating it and telling me I really need to play it despite your, similar problems that I have. Will, you already got my text, I'm sure. I spent an hour and a half giving you a badass tour, and I went on a few adventures to some deep, scary places just so you can see my spine crawl, or hear my spine crawl at least, and I gathered the last fragments to my Cyclops, my badass Cyclops. And I built it on video, and I was so excited, and I praised you and had a great time, and then found out there was no freaking audio in the clips. So here I am again to give you a tour because I love you and I know you understand, and it's not the biggest deal, but it's still kind of cool. Immediately after I finish this recording, I'm going to go do a how-to on an efficient setup. So that'll be a stream I maintain all day in several parts. But otherwise, with a lot of hours between start and finish, here's home sweet home. Now that we have audio, you can actually hear me. It started with the multi-purpose room there. The hatch, the platform, my little outdoor garden. And it grew on to become a lot more. Found in just the wreckage around here. I've been so safe this entire playthrough. I've only explored wreckage that's like, you can get to it, and the radio signals lead you to it. I have genuinely never been grabbed by a Leviathan or anything scarier. I've only glimpsed the one Reaper and ran. And if I can get a tiny clips of that nope situation up, I will. The gardens were basically just to bring back those valuable resources, which the only one that's valuable in here is the gel sacks, because I never want to fucking go back there again. So I brought them back so they can grow here and not have to worry about that. And then the beautimous Cyclops that I just built, and I hate that I didn't get the recording. I was so excited. I was giddy as all hell. It was a whoopin' joy, man. And it's awesome, and that's going to be a part of the tour too. For anyone who's played Subnautica and watching this video, obviously you know what your first fucking 24 hours of gameplay are like, or less, or whatever, but you know it takes a second. Give me that beaver, I'll eat some fish, change up my diet. You know what it's like to get things started. I really haven't gone anywhere, done anything. I've just hunted the resources I had to build this. And without further ado, let's go inside.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
So I made my first hub room really the only needed room. Everything else is cherries on top. You could probably cut off everything past this door and be okay, but everything else past it is beautiful as well. Storage lockers, stored sideways, back to back, creates a section where you can put 4 of them on one wall instead of just like putting 1 across the wall. I mean, like, yeah, that's fine. Like I did over here. I did that on purpose because I really only wanted that one for personal reasons, but as you can see, that only accommodates 1. But I can put 4 in this corner, and then I slipped in my freaking fabricator, so I love that. Plenty of storage, plenty of resources for days. Got titanium, leads, diamonds, coppers, golds. That's really all I've done is safely skirt around, try to get over my freaking hydrophobia and fear of the dark that I have recently redeveloped because of this game, and gather shit. Of course, when I first spawned in this world, everything I got the O2 tanks immediately after drowning like 5 times with all my roommates. It took like 10 minutes of them convincing me to jump off the pod, by the way. That was fun. I did not like the water idea. But making all that early really helped me out since I had no other direction and I was scared to venture away from the pod. I made all the crap I could with basic materials, and that turned out to be great because my next decision was to follow a piece of advice and head to the island to the south, the one with the floating island, the one with the floaters carrying it. Anyway, so yeah, when you find that island, you get the freaking planter, and from there, and the marble, which I did almost fuck myself. I thought I destroyed all the marble melons on the island by eating them to stay alive while I was there. Whew, thank God there was one more planter, because by the time I realized I needed their seeds or whatever to bring them back, I was like, wait, and they're the only ones in the game. I about fucked myself. But now that I didn't fuck myself, my entire fucking civilization runs off these bitches. Because turns out a marble melon, which we all know is all freaking watermelon, while it's good for food, inventory full, that makes sense, they're huge. It's better for freaking H2O than it is food. So you consume it, it's just like god food. And oh no, we just cleared out the planter, whatever shall we... they're so self-restoring, it's insane. I have extra. So, the tree's just there for aesthetic. Every now and then I eat one of those fruit, but this is how I've stayed alive, by the way. I skirted to that island before I even made anything, because I also got my multi-purpose room from scanning one of those like sites while I was there. So I was just living off the pod, and then ventured to that island, and I skirted over the surface to get there, daring not look down. It turns out that was the best decision I could have made, because now I'm self-sustaining. By searching salvage, wreckage, and everything else around me, I have found, you know, water for purification, all kinds of blueprints, trash can, which is actually more helpful than you'd think. I store my extra seeds. Oh, I want to go ahead and store this vehicle modification station in my little equipment locker. Everything's kind of sorted. When I say kind of, it's really in regards to these four are just basically anything you can build with, which results in me having to search all four of them for a lot of stuff a lot. But I'm going to figure it out. I got battery charger fragments at one point, and that was the greatest thing. Holy crap. To be able to recharge my batteries, and after the Aurora gave me... I went over and ventured the Aurora. Yes, I know I should have awesome footage of that for you, and you will one day of me going over there and giving a tutorial on the place, but in the meantime, it gives you a shit ton of batteries, so it's excellent. And then I found power cell rechargers. That's cool. I haven't used it yet because my Moth recharges its power cell when it's docked, and I got the moon pool kind of early. And my little informative episode I'm going to make after that's going to show all these little, like, nitpick golden ribbons you want to grab early. I'm going to show how to get all of them. Like, I feel like I've been really efficient in my playthrough so far for being a scared little bitch. I think I've made pretty decent progress. That's my scanner room, and it's supposed to have cameras on the side, but turns out Stalker fucking Steve out here will grab them and swim off with them. I didn't know he could do that. I'm just going to like, hey, let me check where my cameras are, and I get camera footage of like 30 miles away. I'm like, how'd you get here? Switch to the next camera, and it's being dragged along, and I see teeth in my frame of view. I'm like, oh my god, the stalkers can grab them and carry them. So I brought them inside until I want to use them. But I have camera drones I can launch from my little security hub. Why do my flashlight on? I'm just wasting power. I got the moon pool, like I said, early. Really wanted to make this a thing. And was able to dock my Moth, which I love, my sea moth. I just named it Moth because I love it. I grabbed early on, or not early on, but over time I found the sonar upgrade, the solar powered, the depth module, storage module. There's so many things I have found just by scurrying these shallows in these safe areas. Yeah, there's stalkers and there's weird bitey sand shark things, but once you like get over yourself and like stop being afraid of the water and the dark and the claustrophobic shit, and if you're just a normal person who isn't scared of that and you're just like, what are you talking about? You're just swimming. These things aren't even scary. This game is so much freaking fun. So if you don't have like psychotic issues, you'll probably get along with it a lot easier than we did, but I'm still enjoying it. Got the vehicle upgrade console, so I just named it Moth instead of it being referred to as the Sea Moth. I know that's what its equipment type is called, but I like the name Moth. I went on to name my submarine Monarch, so I kept the theme. Recolored it, made it my own. This is the Sonar Room itself. Most recently I had it tracking stalker teeth because I wanted to make the enameled glass for the progression of the Cyclops. So I can tell this to track certain material types, and it'll mark them in the area around me over time. And yeah, I even got a chip upgrade that lets those scans come to my HUD and I can see them. That's where I keep my cameras I was talking about. Otherwise be carried off by fucking Stalker Steve. And if your child is listening to this episode, or you hear them listening to this through tablet or whatever the hell, this is where you take it from them and tell them to watch something else. This is not child appropriate. I am adult content. The other exterior garden, I put a window so you can see it, but I had to compensate with reinforcements, of course. Oh god, she's so intimidating sitting out there. Or he. I guess we're referring to the submarine as a he, even though vessels should be she's. He's got a male AI, and I named it Monarch. So this is the Bioreactor Room. I found the bioreactor fragments, and holy shit, did they save me through the night. My solar panels can only do so much. They'll charge me up to an amount, but throughout the night I'll drain that power, especially if I'm charging the Moth. Something I found out harshly when I had no power, and all of a sudden the oxygen and reinforcements were failing, and I had to deal with water and breathing. Because your shit will collapse. Found out. That was a horrible night, because Stalker Steve was still around, because I didn't have a thermoblade. It's sad to say I did kill Stalker Steve. That's why he's no longer harassing my windows endlessly. But he got to be a nuisance. He kept carrying off my fucking cameras. Alright. So the bioreactor is active. It's missing a slot. But turns out, with this bitch going, as much as it added to the reserves, and just the fact that if I put a fresh melon in here, it'll burn through all of its different rotting cycles and generate power. I don't run out of power throughout the night at all. It's awesome. Lockers for extra seeds and such. I put the trees in here mostly just as aesthetic to change it up, because just one freaking bed's enough. If you're doing this just based off of survival needs, you could probably live off one room, some locker, like imagine this room with only one flower bed. You could eat off it and fuel your reactor, have lockers in here, the power. You could live off probably one multi-functional room, if not two, and be happy. Or that and a moon pool for some of the other stuff being in the moon pool area. I've been a little over decorative, but I like it. And if you saw my Minecraft world, you'd understand. But, which you've seen my Minecraft world. What am I talking about? And then personal quarters. I didn't include any freaking windows because I'd like every now and then to not have to be reminded that I'm under fucking water. My posters I recovered from the Aurora, which this is my most prized possession in the entire game. Rub. I would trade my entire facility, both my vessels, and all of my equipment just to make sure I kept this baby. My kitty cat who keeps calm. That's what's up. But this is my my quarters thus far. I feel like I'll find more decorative items, so I haven't fully decorated everything. But I can sleep if it's nighttime and get through the night, which I couldn't do that for like the first good like 30 in-game days. So I'm wondering how my character fucking even got through it. But it's nice to be able to sleep if it's nighttime now and skip through the night. But that's pretty much it on the base. Like, I'm really proud of it, and I'm self-sustaining to 100% of a degree. Like, my food and water go down, I literally just come over here and be like, munch, munch. They go up. I cut some seeds. I replant, and it's just. So I'm gonna cut this video off. Mike, again, I appreciate you, man. Or Michael, like, I love you, bro. I can't believe you turned me on, and I feared it for you like a good long time. You suggested this to me like a year and a half ago, and I was just like, that sounds like a major nope from me. And here I am gonna 100% put it on my list of like, if I had to count 5 games as my top games on my fingers, Subnautica would take one very quickly. We won't go into what the other ones would be. That would take a lot of time and debate. But dude, again, thank you so much. I'm gonna end this one here. I'm gonna post it soon. And I'm also about to go start a new game, chill with my roommate, and do a little showcasing on actually how you get this far and some of my key locations that I use to do this, so it doesn't just seem so out of nowhere. But love you, bro. Have a good one.